Hi, I'm Matt. I hope you've seen some of my video reviews. I'm going to do some audio commentary over some of my gameplay videos. Saw another goalie do it. That was pretty interesting. This team I'm playing for right now, I'm just subbing in. I'm normally a defenseman for them. So when I do play for them, try out new things, new equipment, and do reviews on it. This set right here is a Simmons 997. I already did the review for the blocker, which I would check out on my channel. Pads and gloves, the review is like in progress. The pads are coming pretty close to being done. The glove is also along its way, but I haven't faced hard enough shots yet to be able to comment on the protection for it. One thing, how these videos are going to work, the first one will be more informative, just to see how things are. Like I'll talk about most plays, even if they're pretty pointless, just to get a touch of everything. And then, depending on feedback or how lazy I become, they'll be shorter and I won't talk over as much. For this one, I'll be pretty descriptive of everything that happens. One thing I'm using here is a Warrior Swagger stick. I like the durability so far, and I like how it plays, but I can't shoot with it. I'm not a very good puck handler to begin with, but I really struggle with this stick. I normally don't like playing the puck that much, but since I've become a defenseman, I understand why they want it, how they want it, and so I try to help them out as much as possible. And I'll just talk about the little things I try to do. Like I'm not great at passing, I'm not great at shooting, but I'll try the little thing, just teeing up behind the net, stuff like that. I apologize to begin with for the horrible mic quality and lack of production values. Hopefully that's something to come, but this is just something I do for fun on the side. Don't really have a ton of time to put into it, but if you have suggestions, just leave a comment. Anyways, here's the video. This is simply just simple puck handling. I'm not very good with the puck, but I try to play it just to help the defense out a bit because I know how it feels like. I tried to play it here, but no one actually came back for it. And one thing, even if refs pressure you to, don't play it if it's unsafe. Just freeze it. Worst thing they'll do is give you a penalty 1 in 1,000 times. This is just a simple deflection in the corner. Just try to use your stick to get the puck away from the front of the net. It doesn't always work out this well, but this is just the general idea. This is just a really simple chest save, trying to get no rebound. As you can see, I play pretty deep. I don't really come out and challenge that much. This was a pretty weird play. Bounces off my defenseman's skate right in front of the net, and I wasn't actually checking for backside, and it bounces pretty much right to him. Because I wasn't sure that anyone was there, I slid across instead of just skating across, and I got pretty lucky on catching it with my toe basically under the pad for no rebound. This happened a couple times in this video and in my game where I'll slide across if I don't know anyone's there, just in case. Just better safe than sorry, and it saved me a couple times in the past. These plays are always pretty tricky because I knew someone was backdoor and they could either tip it in or be there for a rebound. What I try to do is play the tip, and that way if it does come, then you usually square to it and you can normally stop the shot anyways. I got pretty lucky here. I think the puck bounced off the ice first and hit the inside of my blocker, and I was able to cover it when it dropped before I could bang it in or really got loose. This was another pretty awkward play. Guy tipped in front, but it was pretty weak, so it just fluttered off my blocker, and I couldn't really control the rebound. So I just tried to use an active stick and push away from a guy. Probably shouldn't have pushed it through his legs, but it was really the only option I thought of at the time just to get rid of it. This started out with a good active stick into the corner. Then the shot from the point, I knew there's a guy back door again. So I tried to use my stick again and get my pad square to the tip, which ended up working. When it comes back out, it makes a weird bounce off my teammate. And I wasn't ready for that bounce. It just caught me off guard. Luckily got it with my pad, and my defenseman cleared it. I have to admit that my pad saved me on this play. I missed it with my stick, and it hit the thigh rise of these pads and just died there. One thing to say about these Simmons 997s is the rebounds tend to die pretty quick and just drop dead. Some people like that, some don't. I tend to like pads with bigger rebounds, but this is one of those cases where definitely the soft rebounds help me out and just drop right in front of me for easy cover. I always hate these plays where they gain possession really close to the net, especially when they're in by the post. It's hard to get your whole body sealed up against the post. If you just drop in the butterfly, there can be holes towards the post, like above your pad. And then if you go in the VH, there's all sorts of problems that come with that. I tend to use it. I'm pretty big, so it generally doesn't hurt me that much, but I still feel awkward against there because I don't always feel comfortable with the seal. As you can see here, I'm almost like falling into my net, but luckily he misses it. This is one of those plays where it's all about your reaction. 2-on-1, I came over for the shot after the first pass, had that covered, passed out in front. Again, sliding across where I'm actually late to the pass, and it looked like the player would have had a pretty wide open net if he actually did get the puck. But then it takes the weird bounce off my player's skate, and it goes up in the air. Like I said before, I'm pretty big, and I got pretty lucky here because of my size. I just threw my arm up, and it hit my elbow, and then went over the net. I will completely admit this was totally luck. Didn't see where it went, just flailed my arms and I got it. Here's just one of those puck playing plays. I played with a goalie before that, would always come out of the net, and we were never sure what was happening with it. They'd either just leave it in the corner or hold on to it for too long. I kind of know now enough what to do from playing his defense and where to put it. Here I saw a guy coming in, and both of my D were kind of splitting off to the side. So if I let the guy come in a little more, it gives me more options, and it gives my D-man more time to figure out what they're going to do. And I just saw the guy behind me was wide open, so I just bring it backhand to him so he has an easy outlet. Once again, just simply teeing up the puck for defensemen. Whenever I skate around the net as a defenseman, I always have a hard time pulling it off from the boards. My guys I play with here are better than me at that, but because I know my difficulties, I just know that this helps out a little bit. These are one of the plays I really don't like. Player comes in from the blue line, steps around the defense, and have a mini breakaway. Because it's not a big breakaway that lead up, I always feel I'm not set, and it's always awkward for me. Here I try to just poke the puck away, keep it in the corner, get away from danger. I slide out from the post to the corner because I wasn't sure if he was coming in from the point. I didn't look over there, and I should have. Here's a better example of those mini breakaways. I never got out far enough in challenge because I was never really set. And like I said, I always feel awkward about it. If I did come out, I should have easily made that save. I was too deep in my net on a one-on-one. This one ended up being really awkward as well. I didn't know if there's anyone coming in for a rebound. So if that bouncy puck would have just been right on their stick, so I just tried to get rid of it. Again, me not paying attention causes me to flop around and make an awkward play. On this play, I should have come out and challenged more. I was really worried about the 2-on-1, but if I really paid attention, I would have noticed that the second guy was too high to be a threat, and I should have come out and challenged the shooter more. Here I try to stay square to the shooter as long as possible. I know there's guys in front who are an option, so I try to play a little bit of tip or deflection too. I notice that he doesn't really have anywhere to shoot, so I play more back, and all he does is throw it on the net, and I make the easy glove save. It's most definitely not the best technique for this, and I'm always really awkward in this position as well. I don't really know how to play it, and on really good shooters, it can burn you. But this league, I don't really have to worry about that. This point shot is one of those times when you really have to worry about deflection front. I know the puck's not coming on net, so what I just tried to do is play wherever the tip would come from. Another example, just an active stick to the corner. The tough play here, though, is the screen in front of the net. Really hard looking around guys, just finding out where the puck is being shot from. Here I did get a decent look, and it got tipped, and I fouled it out of play. Here's an example when pushing the rebound to the corner doesn't really work. I should have just tried to hold on to it in front of the net, but instead I tipped it right to a guy in the corner who then makes a pretty nice play out in front, and luckily the guy fanned on it, and it was an easy save. I made a mistake on this play. I meant to push the puck farther than I actually did, and it kind of ended up in an awkward position for the defenseman. I knew there was a guy coming behind me, so I wanted to get it on the other side of the net so they could lead it out that way instead of where the pressure was coming. Here's a play you'll often see in the NHL where the goalie makes play of the puck and basically throws a pick for the forechecking players to give his defense more time. Here's a play where my lack of puck handling is evident. This was a power play, and I saw the forechecker coming down basically in the middle of my two defensemen. I didn't want to drop it in the middle in case I screwed up the pass or the defenseman bobbled it or something. So I want to throw it up the boards and hopefully turn and go down for a quick rush, but I don't have good enough aim and just kind of throw it away. This is just a really bad rebound. Got it awkward off my blocker and goes right back into the slot, and it's a pretty dangerous play. But luckily, defenseman bailed me out of it. Poke check was a bad decision here. It's really risky, and if you miss it, you're completely out of position. I really just wanted to get rid of it and get it away from the guy all alone. Player just walks in, and I was really scared of the backdoor pass or rebound of the player in front of the net, so I didn't challenge that much, and this guy's a pretty good shot. Luckily, he missed the net. This was a bad save selection I made. I shouldn't have dropped down that much. I left the whole top of the net open, so if he did get it up, it would have been probably pretty easy. I was just really worried about covering down low. I felt in an awkward position, wanting to get my whole body as tight to the post as possible. Here's one of those plays where I wish these pads kicked out harder rebounds. I tried to kick it out with my toe because I didn't have enough time to use my stick to deflect it anywhere, and I knew there was a guy right in front for the deflection, but luckily it just went past him. Sometimes when it is a hard rebound, it deflects off a guy and goes in, so it's a give or take on which you prefer. Just this was an awkward save, and honestly it was a pretty good shot placement for this type of play. Here's another part of my game that I need work on is whenever the puck's behind the net, my stick placement is pretty weak. Here, the puck was too close into my body, and I couldn't get my stick there in time. I felt if I did try to move it, it might hit the heel and go through my legs. Plays like this leave me pretty vulnerable. Guy was in front of the net and went to him, would have had a wide open net. So it's something I have to work on. Here's another screenplay where I knew the shot came and I saw it release, but I couldn't see the path of it, so I just went down and played the angle, hit me in the toe, and left a pretty bad rebound right in front. Here's one of the examples where I wish the pads had a firmer face so the rebound might move out farther than that, because that's a pretty dangerous spot, and if a guy picked it up right there, we could have plenty of options and easy way to score. Here's a breakaway where I should have come out more. I started out pretty good, but I backed in too soon. He had the top of the net and corners, and I should have been at the top of the paint or outside of it to really cut down the angle and give him nothing to shoot at, but luckily just put it over the net. Thanks for watching my video. Hopefully it was a little informative. If you couldn't tell, I'm very critical of myself and believe there's always place to improve, and I'm often the one to blame myself for any mistakes that happen. I hope you check out my channel for equipment reviews. I'm just trying to give honest opinions of hockey equipment, goalie equipment, just to help making purchasing easier, just to give them a different opinion besides retailers. If you have any questions or comment, leave a message here or any links provided.